In this video, I'm going to share my personal journey from chiropractor to health coach to business mentor. And I have been a business mentor to other coaches for the past decade. And I have learned a lot along the way of my own personal journey of starting and building my business throughout the past decade, and also through helping hundreds of other coaches. So I'm going to give you a bit of a peek behind the scenes. I'm going to share everything that I've learned over the past decade, so that you really understand where I'm coming from and a lot more about building a coaching business and what is involved. So if you don't know me, I am Dr. Kristin Hartjes. I am, like I said, a trained chiropractor. Then I was a health coach, and now I'm a business mentor. And I went to chiropractic school. I graduated in 2012. And after I graduated, I went and I practiced chiropractic and nutrition. I had gotten very interested in nutrition while I was going through chiropractic school. I did a lot of training in functional medicine. So after I graduated, I did take a position where I was doing a lot of nutrition work. Actually, probably I would say 95% nutrition, 5% chiropractic. And so I had that job and it didn't go exactly as planned. Ended up taking another position where, once again, I was doing a lot of nutrition, a little bit of chiropractic work. Once again, a very disappointing situation based on how much money I was making, based on the freedom and flexibility that I had working under someone else. And at that point, I really decided, I'm done with this. I'm going to start my own business. So I started a, let's say, like brick and mortar chiropractic and nutrition business. And quickly discovered that it didn't exactly feel right. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to be doing long term. Also, I had been living in Wisconsin at the time, and I didn't know if I wanted to stay there long term as well. I wanted the flexibility to be able to move. So I found building an online business, I found coaching, and I started shifting my business towards a health coaching business. And originally I specialized in helping women with emotional eating and body image issues, which had been a huge part of my past. And I specialized specifically in helping women who also had a health background and health training like I did, with the chiropractic and the nutrition, because I felt like that was something I could very much relate to. So as I was doing that, a lot of the people I was working with were other health coaches or health practitioners who were interested in starting their own businesses. And so I ended up doing a lot of business mentoring and helping them figure out how to start their own businesses. So really my business kind of shifted into business mentoring, even though that was never what I expected to be doing. And I really, really enjoyed it. And so that is what I have been doing for the past decade, is helping other coaches and healers build coaching businesses. And part of why I'm really passionate about this is because I do think it makes a huge difference to be doing work that feels very purposeful and feels like what we're meant to be doing in the world. And that allows us to use our interest and our passions and our past experience to build a business around that, if that's something that we feel called to do. And the other thing is, being a introvert and a highly sensitive person, I had a really hard time working for other people and working in the conventional, I would say, like work system, 8 to 5, like having specific hours, going into an office, having coworkers. Like that was a very challenging situation for me. Always. I've had many, many jobs throughout my lifetime. And that has always felt like a very challenging situation and just completely draining for me, just not the right fit. And so I do feel when you can build your own business and build it around what works for you, that is really a game changer and super important. It has changed my life in so many ways. And I feel that there's a lot of other people who feel that same way. So I really building the freedom and the flexibility and building a business that works for you, I do think is really, really important. So that's my personal background and history with starting my business. I will share a little bit more that I've gone through the past decade of having my coaching business. I have learned a lot about having a business. And I would say specifically, one of the things I'm really passionate about is helping other people who are highly sensitive or introverts as far as building a business, because I've really had to learn what works for me specifically. I've done dozens of other programs where I've learned about marketing and building a business and getting clients and all that stuff. And I've done it all. I've learned a lot, but I've also done a lot of things that didn't work for me, but worked for other people. And so I've had to really shift through everything and figure out what was true and aligned for me. And that has been a bit of a challenging process. And it's why I'm really passionate about helping people who are introverted or highly sensitive build a business from the beginning that is aligned and works for them, so that they don't go through what I did, which was really burning out and at times feeling just out of alignment with my business and the things I was doing to build it. I do feel I've always been authentic through the process, and that's something that I get feedback on a lot. But I did feel like I was doing things that were just really draining or didn't feel great for me some of the time. And like I said, I've had to shift through that and kind of shift through the burnout that came from doing some of that stuff, which is why I actually just took a pretty big social media break and a break from creating content. So if you've been following me for a while, hello, I'm back. And I'm excited to start sharing again after a little bit of a hiatus. I'd say maybe it was 5 to 6 months, which I purposely gave myself just to give myself the space. But I'm excited to start sharing again. And I think that's something to keep in mind too. We have to keep in mind our energy and respect that. And sometimes we need a little break. And if you're new here, hello, I'm very excited to connect with you. So now I want to share a little bit about my main areas of focus when I work with other coaches and what I help you with. So as I was just talking about people who are introverts or highly sensitive people, I like to use the word sensory processing sensitivity. If you are not familiar with that is, you can look at the work of Dr. Elaine Aron. But I personally am an introvert and a highly sensitive person. It has been a huge part of my journey just going through life, but then also through growing a business. And like I said, I think it's really important to build a business that works for us as an individual. And that is definitely something to keep in mind, because we have different things that work well for us. And we also have different energy requirements that I feel is important to keep in mind, that we build our business appropriately around that. The other thing is I personally have a background as a health practitioner. As I was just telling you, I was a chiropractor. So I do specialize in working with people who maybe are a health practitioner wanting to become either a health coach or a coach, or health coaches who have the health background. Not all of my clients, as far as what they end up helping people with, it's not always really health focused. As we know, health is a holistic process of looking at your whole life. So some people end up more in a life coaching role or focus, and that's perfectly fine. But a lot of the people I work with have a health interest or health background, whether that's personal or through their training and education or current work. The other thing that I think is a specialty for me and something I've really been working through a lot personally in the past year, 2 years, are people that are highly driven, who are perfectionists, who are really have gone through life trying to prove themselves through their accomplishments. Has been, like I said, a huge part of my story and process, and something I'm really passionate about helping other people who've kind of been in that situation and feel like that's a big driver for them, because we can kind of shift how you're building your business so that it isn't around proving yourself and it's more around doing work that is really purposeful. And it doesn't necessarily change your business, but it changes the motivators and how you feel about your business, which is really important. The other thing I'm really passionate about and is working with people who may be around midlife. So that's usually like 35 to 65. It can really vary, but it's where I personally am in life. And I feel like I've gone through a big transition as far as kind of the first part of my life and really building my life and figuring out who I am and what I want. And then you get to your second part of your life, and I think you have some realizations around what really matters and who you really are. And it can shift how you show up, how you build your business, what's really important to you in life. And I do feel like that's something that I'm really passionate about. And it seems to be where I attract other clients and who I'm working with as well. So now on to a little bit about what I think makes me unique as a coach and how I work with people when it comes to building their business. So I really believe in keeping your business simple and having simple action steps for building your business. But what I have seen through the past decade of working with people is that the other thing that is really, really important is that our business is a result of the actions we take, but many people get stuck not taking actions because of self-sabotage or getting stuck in things like perfectionism, procrastination, analysis paralysis, overthinking, constantly having to learn more and do more certifications and, all this stuff. So there's the things that stop us from taking action. So that is something I'm really passionate about helping people with, is so that you don't get stuck not moving forward. And how do you understand why you're not taking action and work through these things? So your business really becomes a personal growth opportunity. And I see it as a bit of like a personal growth obstacle course that we can work through to work through some of these things that will show up in your business and be challenges that show up, but also huge opportunities for growth. And most likely these things are already showing up or have shown up in the past in different areas of your life. But when we do something new, like starting a business, you're going to see those habits and patterns pop back up. So we have to learn how to work through those things so you don't get stopped from moving forward in your business. So the other thing that I think is really important is keeping in mind that everyone is unique, and what your business looks like and the process that you go through to build your business is unique to you. Something that I'm really passionate about helping people, like, let's find your path to building your business, as opposed to me being like, this worked for me, so it's going to work for you. It's the same thing as saying like, this is my perfect diet and this diet worked perfectly for me, so it's going to work for you. Like, no, we're all unique. We all have different strengths. We all have different challenges. And we want to build a business around what's going to work for you personally. Okay. So that's why the personalized support is really important, and making it specific to you. So things we cover when we work together, and the things that I really find are important as far as having a successful coaching business is, number one, really uncovering your wisdom. So your wisdom is what leads us to knowing who your ideal client or your target market is, and really what you're going to specialize in helping people with, and what your program looks like. This often lies in your own personal interests, your own personal background, your education, kind of looking at the whole picture. And especially like the wisdom piece, right? Like we learn a lot through experience. So how can we take that and really uncover like what it is that you're meant to be helping other people with by looking through your past experience, okay? So that's a big part. The second part is finding your voice. Really, really important, and sometimes really challenging for people who are introverts, because a lot of times we feel like our voice wasn't appreciated in the past, or it wasn't heard. And so sometimes we think we have to be louder, or we have to be pushy, or we have to be salesy. But that's not really what it's about. It's about finding your authentic voice, how to start communicating, what is your messaging around your business, and how do you start sharing that in a way that feels really good. So for some of us, this is a practice and something we really need to learn and get good at, okay? The third thing is connecting to your intuition. Just like I was talking about before, we are all unique. We all have unique ways that we are meant to build our business and how we're meant to show up. And our intuition often is guiding us on our own best path and what's going to work best for us when it comes to building our business and getting clients. So once again, I am not the expert in you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I am going to guide you, okay? Don't worry, I'm not gonna be like, figure it out. Like, I will guide you based on what I know works overall. But once again, if I look at every single client that I have worked with, everyone's business and marketing looks a little different. So I want you to be able to bring in your intuition to guide you, because when we allow your intuition to guide you, it will guide you on your best path. And I like to say, like, your path of least resistance, right? If I try to push you down my path, there may be a ton of resistance because it isn't the path that you are meant to go on. So there's a lot of magic that lies when in your intuition, and when we can use that to build your business, and it will get us into the flow, your flow, which will make things work much smoother and much quicker for you. Okay, so it's really important that we start learning how to tap into that. And your intuition lies in your body. For those of us who are introverts and highly sensitive people, often we live a lot in our head and we become very disconnected from our intuition. So when we can start reconnecting with that, it really, really helps. And that often leads to authenticity and alignment, and like I said, kind of the easier path for you. The next thing is really working on what I want to say is like the self-sabotaging behaviors and the challenges, the habits, the patterns that will pop up for you that may stop you from moving forward. This is so important. It's probably the number one thing that we need to work on and focus. A lot of times coaches think like, just tell me the steps. Just tell me the steps. I just need to know what to do. And I wish it were that easy, that if I would just tell you the steps, you would just do them. But for most people, and this is totally normal and expected, like we're going to have things that pop up that keep us from moving forward, that keep us from taking the steps because we're scared, or because we're unsure, or we have, past habits or patterns that hold us back from taking those actions. So we really need to understand those, be aware of them, understand how to work through them so that you don't get stopped from creating the results that you want in your business, okay? The next thing is aligned marketing. Once again, everyone's marketing is a little different. We need to find what works for you, what is going to be the best path for you, what is going to be the easiest path for you, looking at your interests, looking at what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, how you enjoy interacting with people and showing up in the world. we keep that all into account. Also who you're working with, who your ideal client is, who we're trying to get in front of, keeping that all in mind when it comes to building your business and getting clients and how you're marketing and putting yourself out there. And the last piece is, this is really the smallest piece, but it's the systems and structures of actually like running a successful business. Okay. So those are all the different things that we cover, all really essential pieces to building a successful coaching business. And just to tell you a little bit about how I work with my clients, I have two different programs, or two different ways to work with me. One is I would say kind of like a group program, but very personalized. You get a ton of individualized support. That's for people who are just getting started and really want to build their business from the ground up. And that is a 6-month program. And I walk you through everything step by step while personalizing everything to you. Okay. That program is called Confidence in Clients. Amazing program. I've had hundreds and hundreds of people go through that program with me. And then I also offer the option to do some one-on-one coaching with me, depending on if that is a better fit and where you are in your business. If you're further in your business and you already have an existing business and you're really looking to grow your business, maybe you're not getting the results you want, you're feeling a little stuck, you're not exactly sure what's going on, the one-to-one support can be really great after you're kind of, already have your business up and running and you're looking at like, what's not working or how do I get to that next level? So if you're interested in either of those or interested in working with me in general, you can fill out an application to work with me. I will link it around this video. It's kristinhartjes.com/apply. And I would love to speak with you about that. And if you have any questions at all, like I would love for you to leave them in the comments. Let me know, is this resonating with you? Is my journey resonating with you? Can you connect to some of the things that I am talking about? I'd love to hear from you. Leave it in the comments. You can always send me an email. I will leave my email address also that you can reach out to me in below this video as well to check that out. But I want to thank you for joining me in this video and letting me share my journey and what I do and why I'm so passionate about helping you build a successful coaching business. And we really need more people out there doing this work. Like I absolutely 100% believe that. I think coaching is one of the most powerful tools to help people, and a lot of people are really struggling, as we know. So if you're interested in getting my support, reach out to me, fill out the application. I'd love to speak with you more about that. And once again, thank you for joining me in this video, and I will see you soon.